What's up, guys? It's Emperor John Kill 3D here, coming at you with another video, and today we have Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Now, I know what a lot of people are expecting. They're expecting another reviewer to trash the film, and my opinion will be unpopular. I'm aware of this, but Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is not the film people are saying it is, or as terrible or horrible as they say it is. Actually, a lot of the reviewers, I'm sorry, they filtered in a lot of BS, and I've watched plenty of reviews. I've even watched the film 3 times. I even did a Twitter video real quick coming out of my 3rd showing. So, this is what I feel. It's a good film marred beneath a lot of bullshit. That's the truth behind The Rise of Skywalker. It has to do a lot of patchwork that people hated The Last Jedi for, which I still call that fandom hypocrisy, because people liked The Last Jedi when it first came out, and only months leading up to Solo was it being destroyed, and the fandom menace started spreading their poison in the community, which, say what you will, defend them, love them, or hate them, they've been very unfair to Star Wars. They claim to be fans of both continuities, but they're not, because they can't even acknowledge what the continuity is in the films. Anyway, back on track. The Rise of Skywalker is a 2-part film condensed into one movie. There really should have been an episode 10, and I'll tell you why. Palpatine's return, though he has done this in Legends, I'm going to explain right now how he did it. He created a Force maelstrom that teleported Luke to his location. Now, this is coming from the Dark Empire comic line, one of my personal favorites. And the Dark Comic Book Empire line has been the overall theme throughout this new trilogy, and I didn't spot it until now. And that tells you something, how trapped that storyline must have been, or the inspiration trapped beneath what was going on at Disney. Emperor Palpatine in this film has returned, and they tell you that in the opening crawl that he is here. Now, what I preferred to have them do was Palpatine not reveal himself right away, but they want to make him a prominent threat, which he is. I ain't gonna lie to you, Palpatine is a threat, and he's more menacing here than he has ever been since the prequels. Because let's look about it. In the original trilogy, Darth Vader was set up as the villain in the first film, and then we only got to see a snippet of Emperor Palpatine in the Empire Strikes Back. Return of the Jedi, we only see him in the flesh for so long. What happened in this new trilogy, Kylo Ren was set up as the big bad in the first film. We see only a hologram of Snoke, a la to the Emperor, but then we see him in the flesh and killed in the second part. So it's like it's reversed. Then the big bad himself, which a lot of people say, oh, this is something Palpatine would do. Shut up right then and there. Palpatine has done this in Legends. This is why when it comes to the Palpatine thing, this is why this review is going to be, this is a part 1 to give you an overall generalization of the film, with little tidbits here and there. But this will be a part 1 of 2 or 3, depending how many parts I feel, to dive into what people are claiming is bad and debunking it as we go along. The time skip for about a year of training is no different. They're trying to say Rey is OP. I'm going to tell you why she's OP. Not only being a descendant of a Sith Lord, if we look back further into the mythology of Star Wars, beings who draw upon the dark side, both either as a Sith apprentice or just a powerful dark side user, have always been shown to be more powerful than their Jedi or light side counterparts. Okay? It was shown to us in Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. It was shown to us with the Jedi themselves in the Old Republic. One character in particular, Bastila Shan, the descendant of... No, not Bastila Shan. Correct that. Satele Shan, the descendant of Bastila Shan and Revan. Revan being a Sith Lord. Satele had power she could not comprehend, and she was very young and being a dual wielder at that, like Darth Maul, and then Darth Maul, Sith assassin slash Sith apprentice, was able to take out a Jedi Master. And only when Obi-Wan tapped into the dark side was he able to defeat Maul. Now, Palpatine, what I believed he could have done, and it's only a matter of time before it gets revealed because I've hardly ever been wrong about what's been going on with Star Wars. Palpatine could have created a Force Maelstrom, which, if you want to tie that in to Return of the Jedi, that light or that energy looks just like the Force Maelstrom from the Dark Empire line. So let's safe to say Palpatine opened up a rip hole to where he was, but that took so much Force energy it could have hurt him. Relying on his son that was revealed in these films, wondering where has he been? He should have been around then, or would have been held in high regard. If I was Palpatine, yes, I would have hid my Sith Lord child in the unknown regions, not reveal him. But circumstances change. It proves that the underlying theme between these films is no matter where you come from, dark, light, nowhere, you can achieve greatness depending who you are. So Rey being a Palpatine, and the lightsaber battles. Let's talk about the lightsaber battles. They're a combination of original trilogy's dark, gritty sword, not dark and gritty, but gritty, down-to-earth sword fighting, mixed with a little bit of the prequel movement. And say what you will about Kylo Ren, he reminisces Anakin very well in this film. It's almost as if this is Revenge of the Sith 2.0 mixed with Return of the Jedi's unused concepts because of the Sith throne. Now, why didn't Palpatine use a lightsaber? Palpatine has always been proven to rely on the Force. He only used a lightsaber much younger than he needed to be. And the Force dyad is something I'll also talk about in another video regarding Palpatine. But Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, it's a brisk-paced film. Not overly fast and rush that people say it is. It's very brisk, which is there's a race against the clock, and we've never had a race against the clock film in Star Wars. So I can understand why that they had to do this. Now, have I wished that the George Lucas concepts be used? Yes. How would I have done the ending? I would have done it instead of Kylo Ren being the one to sacrifice himself. I would have had Rey sacrifice her life to stop her grandfather, and then Kylo rises with both lightsabers and then creates a whole new one inspired by Rey, like he would get her staff and make a lightsaber of his own out of it. That's what I would have done. But if you were to watch this film by watching everyone else talk about it, it's not going to do the film justice. So, when you watch the film, go into it knowing that you're not going to understand it right away. A lot of people won't admit this, but this film is made for fans who can understand the lore that was set up in the canon material. And unfortunately, a lot of days, nobody follows the canon material because they have blindly devoted themselves to only one continuity being Legends, but that just shows that they're being ignorant by knowing that there's continuity that they have to understand, but they refuse to understand it. So, when you watch The Rise of Skywalker, if you watch any channels from the Fandom Menace or that support and build that up, they don't do the film justice, and they're not going into it with 100%. Especially some of my favorite YouTubers. I can understand that they have to change what they say, but everybody has an agenda. So what if you feel the films have an agenda? It's actually still a very entertaining film, and for Star Wars, that's all it ever needs to be. If you can have Avengers be 2 hours of fan service, why can't Star Wars do it? If Rey can heal, like if Baby Yoda can heal people, and he's only a baby, why can't Rey use advanced force powers? Baby Yoda isn't trained, and he's using advanced force powers. So, I'll be doing a part 2 to debunk everything, but Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker gets a 70% in my book. Catch you all next time.